Hello there, Pisces. How are you? It's so good to see you again. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm Mary Sue, and I am so grateful that you're here. Today we are doing your weekly tarot. This is good for the week of August 15th through the 21st. So we'll take a look at the overall energies with the oracle cards, and then we'll move to the tarot for more details. And if you're enjoying the content that I create, I'd really appreciate it if you would consider like, commenting, or subscribing. I really do appreciate all your support. All right, let's get into your reading. So we're going to start with your animal spirit card. Owl spirit, you see clearly now. And then currents of emotions, uncontrolled feelings. Okay, so interesting. Cancer had this same card. So, a fellow water sign. I have a different energy with yours, though. With the owl energy, it's seeing clearly the uncontrolled emotions in a certain situation and how they may have played out in a certain situation. So let's go to the tarot and get some more details. I'm coming back to this. I feel like this is the energy of this week, and this happened in the past, okay? This could have already occurred, some heated emotional discussion that you had with somebody, and now you're seeing clearly what perhaps has come out of that discussion. I have go the distance on the bottom. Like I feel... sometimes we have to release our emotions, and it's almost this energy of, okay, we got that out. Now we can see clearly about how we need to move forward. Very different than Cancer's energy there. So let's go to the tarot. Let's get some details. Let's see what's going on. TikTok, divine timing, to be fair, building blocks. Yeah, poised. Okay, I really feel like you either had this, discussion, disagreement already, or an emotional, it doesn't have to be an argument. It could just have been, somebody really letting out their emotions about a certain situation. And the situation may not have had anything to do with you, Pisces, which is interesting. Okay. Justice card on the bottom. Really interesting because lots of Libra energy in the reading. Okay. Lots of Libra energy. So you could be dealing with a Libra. There is this energy that this has to come out in order to balance out the emotions in a certain situation. It could be that you're just trying to balance out those emotions within yourself. This could be you allowing those emotions out. You could just be like looking in the mirror and just like giving yourself a pep talk, or, pretending that the person is there, and really, almost like, I'm not sure, you could be having this discussion with somebody else, but I also feel as if, you could just be having this conversation, poised, not for you, clean it up, unfinished symphony, new life. Yeah, there's this energy of this emotion has to come out so you can clear away the cobwebs that are holding you back from being balanced. I feel as if, we have the 10 of Pentacles here. This is long-term legacy wealth. This is also, long-term relationship, being committed to something, after a very long time. We have the Death card, allowing things to end, but also to be rebirthed. The Death card is about being rebirthed. Yeah, somebody from the past. 9 of Cups, Star energy. My goodness. I mean, I feel like this situation is, in that regard, it's very similar to the Cancer reading. The situation is not easy, but once you get past the situation, my goodness, there's so much more balance in your life, in this relationship, whatever this is. Okay, we have, the TikTok. This is divine timing. This is the universe coming in to help you find this clarity right now, right? Because you have the owl spirit. It's almost as if this conversation occurs so that you get the clarity you need. This could be even at work. You have your evaluation and, your boss, your employer tells you maybe something, and all of these emotions come out of you. You may be like, what are you talking about? I'm doing my best here or something. This could be, they could say, well, you're not getting a raise. You're doing a great job, Pisces, but we can't afford to give you a raise. And you're kind of like, what? Like, I haven't really been working for that raise. It could be that this conversation takes you off in a completely different direction because you're just kind of like, if you look at this, we have the lightning bolt in the back there, right? It's the same as the tower. It's like this is coming in to help clear out all of the negative energy, to allow the emotions to flow so that you can move forward, you can find the balance. Tower moments can be difficult, but at the same time, the tower moments are what helps to clear out what is not working for us so that what is working or will work for us can come in. And I feel as if that is part of this conversation or whatever this is. It could be even within yourself. It could be one of those moments where you just have a heart-to-heart conversation with yourself. We all do it, You get on the scale one morning and you're like, I cannot believe I'm seeing that number, right? I cannot believe that. And then you have a big old talk with yourself, right? It could be something like that. It could be, you go out and your car won't start, right? And you're kind of like, I've known for a while I've needed a new battery. Why do you put these things off? It's like, it's almost as if this happens so that you can see clearly that there's either something you need to change about your daily routines, okay, because you had clean it up. And to me, this is a little bit about those daily things that we need to do to clean up our own life, to be running properly, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And I feel like you're having one of those moments this week where either somebody says something to you or you get on the scale, or you try to climb a flight of stairs at work or something, and you get to the top and you're huffing and puffing and you're like, I've got to make changes, And, that moment when you recognize that you have to make a change is really, it can be very, just sad, right? It's like, how did I get to this point, right? But at that same time, it's almost like it pushes you into noticing that you have to make a change. You just have to, Yeah. So the clarity is coming. You may have thought that you could put this off for some time, and now you're kind of like, no, I cannot put this off. This is something I need to do. You could open your bank account and be like, what? What did I do there? And then you start looking and you're like, oh yeah, I went shopping too much, So I feel like it's almost like a day of reckoning, but this is all happening so that you can balance things out in your life. You can find that balance. Yeah. I really feel like it's about taking good care of yourself. Strength card has really been coming out. Having the strength and the courage to recognize that you need to make a change. But it's also, this is the last week of Leo season. So I feel like you kind of have this crossroads coming up. Do I take care of myself, or do I stay in the doubts and the fears that are preventing me from taking good care of myself? Sometimes we have to recognize the truth that, we could blame others, right? We could blame others for us not taking good care of ourselves. The Queen of Cups knows she's the top priority, you know? She gets up in the morning and she doesn't say right off, what can I do for everybody else? She says to herself, well, what do I need to do to keep myself in the best physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual health, right? So that I can help take care of others. I'm going to put myself first, because if I can't take good care of myself, then I'm going to get burnt out. I'm going to become unhealthy and not be able to take care of other people. It's just like the airplane. You know, they always say, put the, if the air mask drop, put yours on first before you help other people. And I feel as if you have, this kind of like decision. I have this really good friend. She's not a Pisces, but, she works a lot of hours. And she, a lot of it is her choice to work all of these hours. And then, we went for a hike. And, we were going up this hill, and it really wasn't that big of a hill. And she had to stop in the middle of the hill. And, she looked at me and she was like, this is really ridiculous. And I was like, well, do you exercise? She was like, no, I don't have time to exercise. I have to work. I have all these hours I work. And then it was like, okay, do you, it's kind of like, she was like, yeah, but I have to do all these hours of work, When she recognized that she was using the work to not actually exercise, but at the same time using the excuse of working in order to prevent exercising, right? Because, we all do it. We all do it. And then it's kind of like you have this moment and it's like, oh my gosh, Yeah, we've all been there, Pisces. And I feel like give yourself some love. When this moment happens this week, where you recognize that you have to make a change, where you see clearly now what you have known maybe for some time, but you didn't want to really recognize, right? You didn't want to take, I think it's really about taking accountability, responsibility for yourself, right? And this could be even a conversation that comes up, whereas in the past you would have, maybe not stuck up for yourself. You would have had the emotions of wanting to stick up for yourself. I feel like something is happening this week where it's kind of like, I have to put myself first. Whether that's putting yourself first in your own life or putting yourself first in the eyes of somebody else. So let's see. This is your obstacle. Ace of Pentacles and, the Justice card. Having something tangible that comes in to help you bring balance into your life. I feel like this tangible thing, this Ace of Pentacles, is something that comes in, and it could be a little bit emotional at first because it's, for some of you, it could be a good thing. We're going to clarify, but I really feel like this is almost like that aha moment where you realize I can no longer, I think I've shared this before. I had a job once, and I had the evaluation. I worked so hard, so hard that year. And then I had the evaluation, and I guess you could get like 1, 2s, and 3s, with 1 being the best, right? And maybe there were like 20 things on the list, right? And most of mine were 2s. Okay, and maybe I had like a 1 or 1 or 2 ones, And I remember, saying to, my supervisor, I'm kind of confused here. I was a little emotional. I was like super confused, I was like, I've done this and this and this, and I'm kind of confused. And there was somewhat of an explanation, but most of the explanation was kind of vague, or that, well, we don't give a lot of 1s or whatever. And I was in my mind, I had really gone above and beyond. I didn't mean I needed all 1s, but I was like, this really is not what I was expecting, right? And I knew I had to make a change. Either I had to change my approach to my job so that I could meet the expectations that I had for myself. Because at that time I was like, yes, I want to earn more ones. It wasn't like I wanted them to be given to me, but I want to earn more ones. How do I get more ones, right? And then in the end, I really did. I went away and I thought about it for a few days, and I ended up quitting that job because I really felt like it's not a good fit. It just wasn't going to be a good fit. Because I wasn't willing to, I guess, sometimes we have to ask, what are the expectations for a one? And I was kind of like, that's not kind of where I want to put my focus. So I feel like this is, something that comes in. It could be a message, it could be an offer, it could be, that aha moment where you're kind of like, yeah, I got to balance this out. And maybe it is about changing your expectations about yourself or, your life or a relationship. Wow. Justice again. Page of Pentacles. You're learning, Pisces. I think this is a little trying, but you're learning. So we have the Justice with the King of Wands, really stepping into an energy of being a leader, balancing things out, and then the Wheel of Fortune turns. I really and truly feel as if something happens this week, okay, that propels you literally into, this is your obstacle this week, but this is also what you're working through. I think this situation, whatever it is, literally propels you into what it is that you really need. It's almost as if you gain the clarity and you're kind of like, yes, now I know how I am going to proceed. I think you're making a big change. You have a new life here. I think you're making a big change in your life. Whether that's with your diet, your exercise, your job, a relationship. It's kind of like, yeah, this is what I want. And, in a way, going back to that job that I ended up quitting, I kind of was like, yeah, I don't think that I can find the balance in my life and the inspiration to be a leader in a situation like this. This is not the situation for me. I need to go in a different direction. Because when we think about it, a lot of times we think about how much money we're making in a job. And sometimes we have to think about, well, I'm in this job because it pays really well and I need this money, or I'm making this money so that I can retire earlier or put more money away or whatever it is, right? I feel as if there's almost this moment where you realize that you can't, I don't know what Maggie's jumping about over there, that you can't get exactly where it is that you want to by staying in this situation or relationship or whatever it is. It's kind of like, yeah, it's just not going to happen here. So let's see what your advice is. We have building blocks and 7 of Cups. Yeah. That you have other options that you can use in order to bring in the foundation. I feel like you're almost kind of like, yeah, this option is no longer available for me. It's emotional. I think it's emotional. And yet at the same time, yeah, this is so lovely. Yeah. Okay, Moon, it's your fears. You're blocking it because at this time, okay, this is you, Queen of Pentacles, being nurturing, taking good care of yourself, making sure you're taking good care of yourself, and no longer, I feel like you've been kind of looking at this from a different perspective. This situation, whatever it is, comes in to force you to look at other options, to force you to look at this situation in other ways. Yeah, really lovely. It really is. Honestly, Pisces, this could be very upsetting at the time, but the message here is that This has to happen in order to break open what it is. The activated ally. Yeah. I feel like this is happening to help inspire you, to give you that burst of, oh yeah, no, I'm going for this. It's kind of like, no way. Yeah, it's going to be emotional, but it's propelling you. That's all I can say. It is propelling you. You're going to look back at this and you're going to say, this really did. It brought in everything that you had been wanting in your life, but haven't been able to acquire, because it's almost as if you have had the blinders on. Okay, it's kind of like you've had the blinders on and you haven't been able to see this other option. Yeah, really interesting. Sometimes we do, when I quit that job, and I really didn't want to quit that job. I really didn't. I was just like, because I'm kind of like not a quitter. But when I quit that job and then I got another job, right? That other job was so much more amazing, right? And it was kind of like, I could easily, it was a really good fit, because the people that I worked with there, they were very much on the same page as I was. We had a very similar philosophy. So the things just happened so much easier, right? It was kind of like I could step into more of a leadership role. We were able to work together as a team. We got so much more done and accomplished, and my evaluations were better, but it wasn't really about that. It was just about, we're making the changes that, were important. I wanted to make changes in the world, We're all here. We all have a purpose, right? And I was able to do that. And I feel like that's how this is. You may even have a moment where you're kind of like, I'm quitting, but I don't want to quit. Like I don't want to be a quitter. But the energy here is, it's just being taken away from you because there's another option. You're just not seeing it. This is forcing you to take a look at some other options. And I cannot say enough. For some of you, it could actually be a legal thing, okay? I think you've had that in your reading too, about legalities, things coming into balance. For some of you, it could be an emotional situation that, you could be in court over some emotional situation, like, you're ending a divorce or child custody, related or something like that. There's something here with three. I have 3 decks and all 3 decks have the Justice card. So it's really interesting. I think you have something that's really coming in to give you the balance to break any bad karmic cycles that you may have been in, where you couldn't see other options. There's something happening this week, and it's going to really be a good thing. It's propelling you. That's the word they keep saying, propelling you into the future, into where you want to go. Well, Pisces, I'm going to leave it there. I do personal readings, so if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. And I do hope you have a wonderful week, and I hope to see you again really soon. Bye for now.